I'm just going to give a quick overview of this infrared eye, and that's is to be used with the lab gear Cat5 or HDMI over Cat5 cables. Okay, so basically look at this unit here. There's 3 parts to it, and only 2 are actually necessary to be used. They both work as sensors, one to pick up a signal and the other to transmit it. Okay, so what we're looking at here is, if we quickly turn over this unit here, if we see here we have a TX, so this goes on a transmitter unit, and this sensor here, which I'm going to demonstrate in a minute, is RX, it goes on a receiver unit. Okay, we have a little adapter that goes with this, which is supposed to be used on the receiver end, but in reality, you know, if you're using the standard lab gear Cat5 over HDMI, you don't need to use this, and in fact using it actually may cause problems, so it's best just forget about this, and I won't be using it as a demonstration in this video. So when would we use it? What would we be using in conjunction with? Well, we can see, and we have a Sky HD box here that's connected to this television, and we've actually, instead of running a HDMI lead directly from the box to the television, we've actually run HDMI lead into this lab gear HDMI over Cat5 cable. So we have 2 HDMI cables or Cat5 cables running from here into the receiver unit, and from there through a HDMI lead into the television. Okay, and you could have a scenario, we'll say, where maybe your Sky box is in the attic, your television is down in the living room, and for wiring reasons it was just best to wire it that way. So set up like this, it'll work perfect. The only problem is that you can't change channels on it. Okay, so this is where the sensors will come in. So I'm just going to show exactly how we've installed these. If I take the transmitter unit here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this into, right next to the HDMI port here, there's an IR channel port. I'll shove this in here. Let's just knock out the picture for a second. And we'll do the same on the far end. On the receiver end, there's an IR channel here as well. So what we would do at this point is we would take this sensor here and we put it and position it right next to the television. So when we pick up a remote control to change channels or whatever, this sensor here picks up the signal, sends it into the receiver unit, which sends it backwards through these Cat5 cables in here to the transmitter unit, and from the transmitter unit it comes from here, and we need to go and send the signal into the front of the box here. Okay, now where exactly, and the reason we're sending here to the front of the box is there's a little sensor here, the same one that's picking up this remote control as I press it here, and what we need to do is we need to put the sensor right above where it is. And a great way of finding out where that position is just start off by blocking the sensor on the front of the box, try to change channels, it won't work, and slide this sensor down until you get a point where it'll actually work. What we do here is we'll come along and we'll mark that position on this box, and now what we'll do is we'll slide the sensor going the opposite direction until the point where it works again. And what we find out then is that there's a very limited range in the front of this box where we know the actual sensor is, and that's obviously where we want to stick this. So it'll work extremely well. It'll allow us to come along and change the channels for a secondary location, and it's for this reason that virtually everybody who comes along and buys this the lab gear HDMI over Cat5 unit also come along and buys the infrared sensor kit as well.